Hi, this is Christian Trailer, and this is another GOGI quick tip video, and we're going to discuss working with GOGI stats. And this is basically how to enter in scorecards within the GOGI website and how to review the stats that result from those scorecards. So to enter in scorecards, there's two ways to do that with GOGI solutions. The first way is to download our free GOGI T2Green Pro mobile app for iPhone and Android. And with our T2Green Pro app, you can pull in one of 21,000 courses, and the course information will be pulled into your phone, and you can basically tap in or swipe in your stats. It's real easy to use per hole. And then when you're done with your scorecard, you click upload, and then that scorecard uploads to your profile on the GOGI website. You can also review those scorecards and any resulting stats on your phone. The second way to enter in scorecards is to access the GOGI website, and you can enter in your scores directly through our scorecard entry module. And whether you enter in those scores via our mobile phone app or from the website, either way, those stats from either one of those entry methods are then calculated for you, and you can access those stats from the phone as well as the website. And we'll talk about the stats in the latter half of this demonstration. First, let me walk you through entering in your scores on the website. So to do that, you click on the Stats section of the navigation in the left-hand rail from your GOGI profile, and you'll see a couple of options here. Let me walk through those options briefly. First off, you have the Manage Handicap functionality, and by default, this is all turned on. Most of our members don't customize this. They leave it as is by default. But just so you know what it is, when you click on Manage Handicap, this Apply Handicap button, turning that on and off, what that does is it calculates net scores for you. So if you have a handicap that you generate through GOGI, or you have your own handicap, by leaving Apply Handicap on, when you enter in your scores, your handicap value will be applied towards your scores, and that will give you your net handicap, your net score rather, per that handicap. The other options are the gender selection, the handicap style, which is all defaulted, and then the other one to pay attention to is the auto handicap, and by default this is set to on. And what happens here is once you've entered in 5 scorecards via either GOGI's mobile app or through the website, GOGI will calculate an estimated handicap for you. To be clear, this is not an official handicap, this is an estimated handicap, but it uses the generally accepted calculation methods to compute a handicap, so it's an accurate representation of your handicap. It just can't be used in official tournaments. So with that said, again, most people leave these defaults to on. If you have a handicap already, you can simply select off to the auto handicap feature, put in your handicap value, and then as you put in scorecards, your handicap value that you already have will be applied towards those scores. Now, once you have gone through that process, and again, most people just leave the manage handicap values to the default, let me walk you through adding a new scorecard. So if you wish to add a scorecard to your profile, basically you just click on add a new scorecard, and then from here type in the name of your course. So today GOGI has about 21,000 courses in its system. So it's possible your course is not in here, but it should be, and if it's not, please send us an email at customerservice@mygogi.org with a scorecard that you would like to have entered, and we'll enter in that scorecard for you so you can use it on a go-forward basis. But your scorecard should be here, or your course should be listed here. You just type in the course name, and then from there it will populate the tee information. So you can select which tee you played from. So for here, for example, let's say I played the blue. You can say whether you played all 18 holes, the front 9, or the back 9, and then the scorecard will customize for you. Click Next, and then once you do that, the scorecard entry module will open. And from here, all you have to do is enter in your golf scores, and from there we can calculate a range of statistics as well as your estimated handicap. To really fine-tune your game and to really find areas for improvement, we do recommend you put in putts, which tee club you used, whether your fairways were left, right, or down the middle, for example. So you can click on, for example, with fairways, you can say whether it was left, right, long, short, or was good for you. whether you had sand saves or penalty strokes, and you could add any notes to your round as well. Once you've entered in that data, from there you can do a couple of other things. You can then save your scorecard, and then once that scorecard is saved, it will be displayed here. So you will see a history of all the scores that you have entered. So let's take an example of this scorecard. By accessing that scorecard and clicking View Scorecard, you'll see what we call a basic view, which just shows the overall scores and the net score. If you have entered in more detailed stats, you can also click on the advanced view, so you can see things such as fairways, greens in regulation, so on and so forth, for that particular scorecard. Now, within either view, you can also use our social capabilities. So here, you can email your scorecard, you can post it to Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, you can print your scorecard, you can also comment on your scorecard, and friends that you provide access to your scorecard, they can also comment on your scorecard, and you'll be notified of those comments. So to change those privacy settings, you can go to your up here, click on your name, and then specify change permissions, and you can specify who can have access to your scores. So you can say everyone can have access to it, or you can say I just want my friends, or I want to keep it private. If you let your friends or the public access it, you basically are providing them the ability to view your scores and then comment on those scores. But it's up to you how you want to specify those privacy settings. So that is the quick tutorial on entering in scores. Now, once you've entered in scores, let's show you the stats section. So within the stats section, basically GOGI takes into account the scores you've entered, and we provide some very useful stats. Once you've entered in 5 scorecards, we give you an estimated handicap. And then we show you basically a timeline of your scores and how those are trending. But other cool stats that we provide are scoring stats. So how many pars you have, your percentage of pars, your percentage of bogeys across all of your scorecards, your putting average across all your scorecards, and the trends per greens in regulation and then per hole. We also show you scores by par. So for your par 5s, what's your average score? For pars 4s and par 3s, what's your average score? Again, across your scorecards that you've entered. We show you stats such as driving accuracy. So the fairways that you're hitting, the fairways missed left, the fairways missed right. Greens in regulation, scrambling, and sand saves are the remainder of the stats. So these are very useful to pinpoint areas of development to really fine-tune your game. Now, what makes this very helpful, if you're working with a golf instructor and or your friends that might be helping you analyze your stats, by having your scorecards shared with those friends or your golf instructor, they can analyze your stats, and then they can provide analysis for you and provide you with some tips on how to, again, fine-tune your game. So in a nutshell, that is our GOGI scorecard entry and stats functionality. Again, you can do that with our mobile app, Tee to Green Pro, or you can enter it directly in the website. And this is a very good way to pinpoint development areas, and we hope you find this useful. Thank you.